Welcome to Waywut, your weekly verbal double take. This is a rabbit hole podcast where a couple of old guys do moderate to shallow dives into various topics, ranging from true crime, paranormal, sports, pop culture, or anything else that we find interesting. We drop episodes every Tuesday, and then on Fridays if we feel like it. You can follow us on Facebook, X, TikTok, and Instagram. We appreciate you joining us. And now that we got all this self-promotion stuff out of the way, here we go. Hello, welcome once again to another episode of Waywut. My name is Daryl, and I will be taking the lead today. And here I am with the guy who gets colonoscopies recreationally, Jason.
I do have a recreational appointment coming up, actually.
Yeah, I mean, the only reason I could think of you doing would be for fun. I'm not ready for that shit yet. You know that
I'm not ready for it
they
either.
blow you up like a balloon when they do that, right?
Oh, I'm going to be asleep, so they can do whatever they want to do to me.
But they blow a fuck ton of air up your ass so that they can, move around in there without, I don't know if they have to do it with you. I'm pretty sure you're pretty, easy to open. But
yeah, that's a normal Saturday, Daryl.
Yeah. Well, apparently though, I've heard that you fart a whole lot after because all that air's got to come out.
Oh man, no! I'm taking these fiber pills right now, and that is making me fart more than I've ever had in my entire life.
My wife's out of town right now, so I'm in charge of the cooking, and apparently, my cooking kind of fuels that activity. So, I'm fortunate to not be here.
My seat's always warm.
All right. Well, okay. Well, today I'm going to start our episode off with a mini Munchausen rant, which is fun to say, mini Munchausen. Like 95% of people in the world, I use Google to look stuff up. And 95% is an arbitrary number. I'm pretty sure it's actually like 99% of the world.
Yeah, probably.
However, after doing research for this particular episode, I might finally switch to DuckDuckGo. And just for shiggles, I Googled, what is the bad side of using DuckDuckGo? So I asked Google. And the Google AI says, well, since they don't track your data, they can't personalize your results.
Dope!
And that whole personalized results is kind of where the problem lies. And, where Google just always lies.
Uh-huh.
Today's episode is about strange aversions. So I'm going to just say that out here now. I usually wait till the end of my rant. But the reason I chose this is because I have some strange aversions. Whenever I was a teenager, I broke up with a girl because she wore too many rings. She had like a ring on every finger, and it grossed me out. I know that isn't normal, but I figured there's probably, there's a possibility there's something scientific behind it or psychological. I figured it's kind of like, how I don't like peppers. There's reasons behind that. Well, in researching these various versions for the episode, Google kept hitting me with results pushing autism and ADD. Everything was about food or audio versions and coping with these symptoms of autism or ADD. Every single damn one. It was almost as if Google wanted me to think that anything outside of the norm is automatically an indicator of autism or ADD. The most popular self-diagnosis nowadays.
Yeah, and to get medication for it is pretty damn easy.
Oh, yeah. Now, just because you don't like crowds, or you don't like the sound of nail files, or you don't like the texture of onions, does not mean you're fucking autistic.
No.
I think everyone has weird shit like that. But truly autistic people aren't able to cope with those things like other people can.
Yes.
Which is why I think people want that diagnosis. because they believe it excuses them acting like assholes or weirdos every time there's something they don't like. And don't get pissed at me for saying weirdos. I'm talking about people that want to be autistic. Furthermore, don't
Yeah.
get pissed off at me for separating normal people and autistic people. Autistic people aren't fucking normal. They aren't. That's why they're diagnosed with autism.
Agreed.
Yeah. That being said, we now live in a world where seemingly everyone either has or has a kid or an entire fucking family that has ADD, autism, some sort of mental disorder, or in some cases, all of the above. And I'm not saying these conditions do not exist. I am suggesting that they may be overdiagnosed to a degree. Because there's
a lot
loads
of degrees.
What?
Lots of degrees.
Oh yeah. It's there's loads of money for in having people have these kind of illnesses and conditions that require pharmaceuticals. So of course they're like, yes, you have it all. But more so, I'm absolutely saying that people love saying they have those conditions without any kind of professional diagnosis. Now, back in my swinging single days, I had a tendency to encounter ladies in their 20s that liked men of a certain age. I'm not going to say that they all said they were on the spectrum, but I will definitely say that most of them claim that they were on the spectrum.
Spectrum ain't that big.
This tells me one or of two things. First, it's popular to claim to be on the spectrum or mildly autistic. It's popular to do that.
Yeah, it's the in thing.
Or women that are on the spectrum or mildly autistic find me attractive. One or the other. Which, considering I was teetering on the edge of 40 back then, and these girls in their 20s kept going out with me. So, yeah, it's pretty safe to assume they were broken in one way or another. I'm telling you, 28 years old was my sweet spot. I'm like 39 years old, and not just 28-year-old women love me, and I have no idea why, but I was down with it. Now, even outside of my old Tinder account, go check out TikTok or Instagram. It's in their bios. It's part of their intros to their videos. Or it's usually a response to them doing something stupid in some other video. Like, I couldn't help it. I'm on the spectrum. It was my ADD's fault. Forgot to take my Adderall that day. But that's anecdotal. That's just me saying stories. What do the professionals say? Well, according to an article from Bay State Health, a third of people self-diagnose themselves based on internet information. Now, that's not limited to autism spectrum disorder or bipolar or ADD or anything. That's just in general.
Oh yeah, I at least diagnose myself with cancer at least twice a week.
Well, going back anecdotally, out of the 100 million people, so we're talking, it said 1/3, got 325, 350 million people in America. I'm guessing out of that 100 million people that are self-diagnosing, it seems like a possible majority of those people are diagnosing themselves with those kind of mental disorders.
Mm-hmm.
Now, why do they do that? Now, I've already given my belief. The article says they do, that they do it because they want a sense of community or belonging. It's all about identity. People want to be different, but more important, they want to be different with other people.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, essentially, think about the goth cliques in high school. It's like, oh, I want to stand out, but I hate to be alone. I don't get it. I mean, I personally think it's more along the lines that they just want an excuse to be a piece of shit. All right. Well, and why do I think people want to do it? Why do I think people want to use that to be a piece of shit? What do autistic, ADD, and mentally ill people have in common? They have a condition that sometimes causes them to act out in ways that are not acceptable. They have emotional meltdowns or fits of anger, or they say completely inappropriate things.
Yep.
Because that is the result of their conditions. They have actual biology and anatomical issues where their brain chemistry or whatever else is fucked up, causing that behavior. These self-diagnosing people do not want to go to the doctor and have a professional tell them that their body is not chemically or biologically inducing their shitty behavior. They'll lose their excuse. So if you are diagnosing yourself with any of these hip new disorders, stop it. I'll take care of it for you. I am going to diagnose you.
Oh.
You're a dumbass narcissist that wants something to be wrong for attention and as an excuse for bad behavior. Also known scientifically as a piece of shit garbage person. I don't know if there's a cure for it, other than just
a belt.
Or just get the fuck over it, one or the other. So, all right. Well, to wrap this rant up, people, if you're one of those people, please stop being shitty and stop using Google. And Google, you stop being shitty too. You're feeding the problem. Knock it the fuck off. Now, speaking of me hating stuff, because I just went on a big hateful rant, sometimes we hate stuff for no reason. And I mean no damn reason. And it's definitely not because of fake autism or fake OCD or fake ADD. Let's go over a few. Well, back in my early 20s, I worked at an insurance company. My job there was me working in a call center. But it was a very small call center. We're talking like 12 people. And anytime you work in a call center, there are generally strict schedules when it comes to like breaks and lunches and things like that. Now, at this job, every day during the lunch hours, starting from like 11, going all the way to 2 or whatever, there was an hour-long period that I was trapped with this one woman she wouldn't eat during her lunchtime. And instead, she would eat at her desk. I think it was like her scheduled lunch was like at 11, and that was too early for her to eat. So she'd put off actually eating until it was just me and her sitting over there.
Okay.
Now, I don't feel like what I'm about to say is an exaggeration because our seats were a good 8 to 10 feet away from each other. But I swear to all that is holy, she was the loudest eater on planet Earth. Every single day for an hour, I would work with one hand mushed against one of my ears, just squished there as hard as I could close it. And on my other ear, I had like my little earpiece for my phone with the volume jacked up as high as possible to try and drown out her smacking.
Somebody please call me.
Between phone calls, my poor phone ear was subjected to her smacking and I couldn't get away. I am not a violent person. I hate fighting. I hate confrontation. But I would be lying if I say I did not fantasize about ripping her lower jaw off. Just snatch it right off her fucking
now,
head.
Bitch. Yeah. See you smack with no jaw.
Now that may seem a bit extreme, but that's misophonia. Misophonia is when certain sounds trigger a fight or flight response in a person.
Okay.
Now, in response to people saying, "Hey, didn't you say you shouldn't self-diagnose things?" It sounds like misophonia is a self-diagnosis. Well, I would agree with you if I used misophonia as an excuse to scream at, be rude to, or rip the lower jaw off of that woman. Instead, I'm saying if I hear someone smack, slurp, crunch really loud, chew loud, or file their nails, my lizard brain just starts screaming to make that noise stop.
Filing your nails bother you?
Yeah, I don't like it. I can't stand it.
I didn't know that.
My civilized brain, however, walks in and says, "Calm your tits, lizard brain." And so it just wails and screams in some little corner in my head while I have to endure those awful sounds. So misophonia is not the name of a disorder. It's just naming something that happens in the brain. It's essentially like a behavior,
Mm-hmm.
kind of like call of the void.
Yeah, the intrusive thoughts. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like that. People that experience misophonia can be triggered by a variety of sounds. The most common are eating and drinking sounds, but people also get triggered by nasal and throat sounds, heavy breathing, nervous repetitive sounds, and joint sounds like popping your knuckles.
Oh, I do that one a lot. And the heavy breathing.
There's a girl that at work that works like one desk over me, and she came over one time. I was sitting there just clicking a pen. And she's like, "Could you stop that?" And I'm like, oh yeah, and I did because I understand how she feels. Her lizard brain was screaming.
What about a knife on a plate or a chalkboard scratching on the chalkboard?
Well, the ones that I was just went over, those are the most common ones. And I was going to say, I'm sure there's other sounds that drive people up the wall. Well, there you go. You just named a few of them. Well, since misophonia is not a disorder, and it's not plaguing the world with violent reaction to sounds, it hasn't been studied very extensively. So whenever I'm researching, trying to find academic articles and studies about that, I was only really able to find a couple. There's the older theory, which is from 2014, that hypothesizes that people experiencing misophonia have their emotional wiring in their brain too close to their hearing wiring in their brain. So in other words, you hear things and your little hearing nerves start sending those electrical impulses to the brain, and those nerves are too close to the emotional parts, and they inadvertently spark up some of those emotional neurons. It sounds really cool, but they did not back any of that up with any brain imaging or scans or anything like that. It was literally some academic throwing a guess out there, another academic saying, "Yeah, that sounds about right."
Yeah, that sounds pretty plausible. We'll go with that. Print it.
Well, about 10 years later, in 2024, a new theory came out. And they actually did brain imaging and monitoring. And they found that the misophonia brain's reaction to its trigger sounds tend to mirror or simulate the action that made the sound. And it causes the brain to overfire emotionally. So essentially, I hear someone smack, my brain starts playing some nasty chewed up food behind some nasty ass lips smacking, and then it reacts to that image.
Okay.
It's essentially turns your brain into kind of an echo chamber. So instead of hearing like one person smack, it's like it gets all up in your head. And it makes essentially an IMAX movie out of this fucking thing you can't stand.
And you would hate certain cultures then that they're eating when they smack or slurp they have to.
So in Asia, and I'm going to be general like that, even though I've only been to a handful of Asian countries, that's just the sound eating. That's just the sound of eating, period. And I had to adjust myself to it because my girlfriend in Thailand at the time. I know that sounds, gross, but she was 28 years old. I don't want to hear any bullshit because that was my sweet spot. She had giant jugs, and I was perfectly willing to deal with smacking for big boobs. So, I mean, with either of those theories, your brain is being dumb about the sounds. However, it's not just sounds that do this to people. Now, sometimes, not in my case, misophonia can occur with something called misokinesia. Now, take everything I said about sounds earlier and change it to movement. People with misokinesia feel a strong negative emotional response to movements made by people, such as fidgeting, leg shaking, hair twirling, and many other unnecessary movements.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, the closest I've ever really encountered this is, my wife,
clicking.
whenever she's ready to go to bed and I'm like, my legs won't sit still, she'll be like, do you need to go sleep in the living room? But I mean, the thing I could think of is, and I guess everybody in it has at least some mild form of this, because I know, like, every now and then my son will just sit there and just start bouncing his leg, and it's kind of close to me, and I'm like, and I'll just put my hand on, I'm like, stop. Much like misophonia, there aren't many studies about misokinesia. The 2024 study about misophonia states that they suspect that misokinesia operates the same way neurologically. It's, the big IMAX movie in your brain. So even though there wasn't a brain study specifically about it, I did find that there was an academic survey that surveyed 4,100 people. 1/3 of them reported some level of sensitivity to repetitive fidgeting behaviors. Now, I'm pretty grateful that I don't experience misophonia and misokinesia at the same time, because apparently it is somewhat common to deal with both. And for those people, I figure they either, one, learn how to control these aversions, two, they stay single, or three, they end up in one of those relationships where the other person is like walking on eggshells the whole time, afraid to piss them off. Which, I mean, we've all sadly seen relationships like that, and possibly even been in them ourselves. Now, I laughed whenever I read the survey on misokinesia, because in the article, it said that these are surprisingly common human phenomena. And before I ever even knew the words misophonia or misokinesia, I would not have been surprised about this phenomena. I just would have said, yeah, people get really pissed off about sounds and fidgets.
Yeah.
And you know why I wouldn't be surprised? Because I have conversations with people. I know me and you have had it, and me and random other people have sat there and talked about sounds that drive you up the wall. And then they tell you about sounds that drive them up the wall. And it's like, really? You can't stand the sound of, like, somebody blowing their nose? Like, wow, it's just somebody blowing their nose. No big deal. And they're like, wow, you can't stand the sound of a nail file. I do hate that sound. But it's simple conversation.
Is there a specific nail file?
No, it's just that gritty sound, and I think I'll talk about something later that I think might relate to it.
Okay.
But them being surprised about this, I looked at when the survey was done, and it was done in 2021. So, surprise, surprise, is whenever people were in a phase where we weren't accustomed to socializing like normal people anymore.
Yeah.
So I guess they could potentially be surprised by the results.
Put on your bubble.
But yeah, I mean, it just screamed at me. It's like, wow, this is how distant we've gotten, where you just kind of don't pick up on certain things, common behaviors among people. Because, I mean, it's one of the reasons why I make a big point of saying misophonia is not a disorder, because everybody experiences it in some form or the other or another.
It's more of an annoyance or an irritant.
Well, I'm tired of thinking about how antisocial people are now. So let's move on to something fun. Okay? The Baddour Center, I think it's Baddour, it's Baddour, Baddour, I don't know. I'm going to call it the Baddour. The Baddour Center is an organization that helps people with intellectual disabilities lead lives with dignity and hope.
Okay.
I'm like, okay, cool. I read a blog post on their site, and now I want to ask you some questions to figure out if you might have sensory processing disorder.
Okay.
Don't worry, I'll be answering them too. All right. First question, Jason. When you were a kid, did you fight or argue with your parents when they tried to get you to wear a wool sweater or spandex or corduroy? Or did you have issues touching sandpaper or bumpy or raised textiles?
No.
All right. Well, I always fought with my mom about wearing sweaters because they were fucking itchy and I couldn't stand them. And I've always hated the way sandpaper feels. And I hate the sounds that it makes.
It's similar to the nail file. Yeah.
It's very similar to the nail file. But the texture of sandpaper, like whenever I'd grab, and I've used sandpaper, and you have to sometimes. Yeah. But anytime I touch it, the texture of the sandpaper makes my teeth clench, and I just feel weird all over my body. Even just now, I kind of get like goosebumps just thinking it, and just like, it makes me clench up.
Weird.
Yeah, I mean, I hate the way it feels, and
it feels dry. It feels like a dry tongue, like
but
a cat tongue.
It's the grippy thing, and just I don't know. It's just, I mean, like seriously, it makes my whole body just kind of want to scrunch up a bit.
Man.
All right, Jason. On to question number 2.
Okay.
When you were a kid, did you have trouble concentrating or feel irritation or physical pain because of zippers, buttons, belt buckles, shirt tags on your neck, or shirt tags on your side?
Not pain, irritable about it. The tag.
It did say irritation.
Irritation from a shirt tag, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. The shirt tag was always super irritating for me. I mean, there were shirts my mom would get me that I would avoid wearing just because of the tag. Now, why didn't I cut it off? Because I was a stupid kid, and I assumed that I wouldn't know what part of my shirt was the front without the tag.
Or what size it was.
Yeah, and I was just stupid.
Yeah, sure wasn't for washing instructions. Whoever looks at that shit.
I do.
No, I sure don't. It all goes in the same.
When I was a kid, though. I do now. All right. So finally, so you said yes to number 2. I'm so far. I'm yes on 2 of them. As a kid, did loud, unexpected noises or metallic screeching sounds cause you anxiety, irritation, or stress?
No.
All right. Let me clarify it. This would be sounds like clanking silverware, moving pots and pans where they're bumping into each other, or screeching brakes.
Man, you would hear it every once in a while, but it was nothing that I would have to go in there and say, you got to stop moving these dishes right now.
Well, I didn't say that. It just said that it caused anxiety, irritation, or stress. And you're saying no? Okay.
Yeah, I'm saying no.
Well, first, in my opinion, I think loud, unexpected noises shouldn't even be a question on this because everyone normal has a reaction to loud, unexpected noises. I think it's more of a sign that something is wrong with you if loud, unexpected noises don't trigger anxiety or stress in you.
Yeah, Daryl, it's called being deaf.
Second, the sound of screeching brakes is supposed to trigger bad feelings. It's supposed to trigger anxiety and stress. That sound means a large death machine is doing something sudden and something bad might happen. So the brain wakes the fuck up.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's why I don't understand why you're just like, whatever. I mean, I know anytime I was riding a bike and I hear, I'm like, what the fuck?
Well, I have a cold heart.
No, you're retarded.
Or I'm deaf. It could be that I'm just deaf.
I don't think so.
What?
Now, the silverware pots and pans, that one, I don't remember if it bugged me when I was a kid, but I know as an adult, when there's a lot of those noises, I feel it in my spine. The sounds of pots and pans banging into each other makes my whole body just tighten up. It's not the same kind of like where I want to roll into a ball like with sandpaper. Sandpaper, I like want to turn wrong side out and just roll into a ball. But with the pots and pans, I'm just kind of like, oh God, it's just like it's right in my head. Like even when it's all the way downstairs. Now, this is less of a sound thing, but when two forks are like locked together, that feeling of them being pulled apart makes my neck feel weird.
What? I
I
know
just
what
hate
you're
it.
talking about, but that's never even come close to bothering me.
How much Tylenol did your mom take when she was pregnant with you?
Obviously, a lot.
Obviously none, because apparently I'm the broken one according to the internet. All right, let's try this. As a kid, did bright lights, strobe lights, or color changing lights bother you?
No.
Same here. None of that bothered me. I thought strobe lights were cool as hell.
Yeah. Faster the better.
Mm-hmm. It's like, man, that seizure felt great.
Or they get it just at the right speed where it looks like you're skipping frames. Yeah.
Yeah. Whenever in my early drinking days, when I was too young to be drinking, we'd sit around with the strobe light on and sit there and watch each other stumble around drunk. Not me and you, but me and my cousin. All right. As a child, did you have anxiety about being in large crowds or situations where you would be in close proximity with other people? It gives examples such as airplanes, school buses, concerts, meetings. What kid is going to a fucking meeting? Worship services or lines.
Lines, yeah.
So that would give you anxiety.
Well, no, I just didn't want to wait through them.
Well, and that's one thing. As a kid, most of those things are things that require a kid to sit still and shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Most kids have a hard time doing both of those things, especially at the same time.
Yeah.
Now, as an adult, I dislike crowds.
Oh, yes.
I will totally bail on something if it's too crowded or if the line's too long. I mean, I'll pull up or walk up to something, and if it looks like I'll be in line for 20 or 30 minutes, unless I already paid for it, I'm out. I'm like, nope, I'm good.
Yep. I don't know how many restaurants we walked into. We're like, nope, walk right back out.
I mean, there was one time there was a casino that was doing a giveaway. It was right before Thanksgiving. It was for this roasting pan, and the line went like all the way around this thing. And I was like, went to Denise. And I was like, yeah, that line's too long. I'm not doing it. She's like, it's moving quick. I was like, I saw how many boxes. I was trying everything to keep us from having to go in that line, but she wanted that damn roasting pan. So we sat in that line for a good 20 minutes, and she got a roasting pan. So it was free.
Huh?
Well, as free as anything from a casino can be.
Yeah. They got your money somehow. As
a kid, did roller coasters, Halloween costumes, haunted houses, or scary movies elicit intense feelings of fear, anxiety, hopelessness, or danger?
Yeah, that's what they're supposed to do.
That's exactly what I have written here.
Duh.
I mean, seriously. To get to a point where those things are enjoyable, it requires doing them numerous times until the rush feels fun.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just so. Yeah, as a kid, I kept my eyes closed through Texas Chainsaw Massacre the entire fucking movie. The first time I watched it.
Yeah, I remember going through haunted houses behind my dad, my face tucked behind his back, going through it. But when I made it through, I'm like, I went through the haunted house.
I kicked a guy in the balls one time in a haunted house. I also kicked a guy with a chainsaw in a haunted house in the ass whenever he went after my mom. So I was like, oh, and then kicked his ass. He turned around. I'm like, and I ran on. Now, as a kid, did you have a difficult time eating various tastes, textures, and flavors without feeling overwhelmed, anxious, or nauseous? Nauseous? There we go.
Yeah, liquor.
As a kid?
I mean, no taste or anything really bothered me. I mean, vegetables, but what kid likes vegetables?
Well, and it does say, the blog post does say not to mistake a kid not liking broccoli for sensory processing disorder. But I still hate things because of their texture. Like the flavor of onions doesn't bother me. Like I like Funyuns and onion powder whenever I'm cooking.
Yeah.
But it's the texture of onions and coconuts disgusts me. And I think I've said it before on an episode, but if I bite into a Taco Bell bean burrito and I feel the crunch of an onion, my day is ruined. It's over.
Yeah, there should not be onions on that bean burrito. I like onions too, but not on that bean burrito.
I mean, I don't like onions though. So I mean, I do appreciate them saying not to mistake, the broccoli thing, but I even with it not, with it talking about broccoli, I don't think my distaste of the texture of onions is a disorder.
No, something you don't like.
Well, and that does it for the test for the signs of sensory processing disorder, which Jason obviously doesn't have.
I'm good.
Now, I would like to point out that this is a blog post on the website for the Bador Center. So it should not take away from their good work. It's just a post on there. But I need to point out that having preferences and shit you don't like is not a fucking disorder. Especially with those questions. They were so... Did you get scared of scary things as a kid? Oh, yes, I did. Does the sound of a screeching brakes right by your head freak you out? Yes! So...
kind of how like all the medicines are now. When they're, do you breathe air? Do you walk on 2 feet? Well, you may have this disease.
I mean, this is just, it's the same thing that I'm, saying earlier. It's just wanting to label something as like a disorder so people can feel special and feel like they're, they can be special with other, wannabe retards with them. Oh. And I'm not calling autistic people retarded. Anyway, so stop doing that, internet. Stop trying to name dislikes as a disorder. So, and because unless your kid is beating the shit out of themselves or trying to climb out of a window because of something that some people might find annoying, they are normal. Mm-hmm. I mean, if they hate itchy sweaters and they're just like, they're normal. If they throw a temper tantrum because of it, they're normal. Now, if they start like trying to like bang their head into a table and there's like blood coming out of their face, all right, yeah, get them to the doctor like quickly.
Put a helmet on him. Either one.
No, you take them to a doctor. If your kid's reaction is extreme and frightening, you take them to a doctor. You don't self-diagnose. You don't be like, well, I heard on the Waywut podcast, I did the checklist with Junior over there, and he's totally got it. No. The only diagnosis I provided here is, for shitty garbage people. So don't be one of those. That's treatable. All right. Well, that's going to do it for this episode. I did this because I am fascinated by brain chemistry and just the and the anatomy and of the brain and how it results in our personalities and our preferences and our aversions. It's super neat. Like this fatty, wrinkly thing does that.
Yeah.
And
why it does certain things. Absolutely.
Yeah. Now, as I said earlier, I don't look at misophonia or misokinesia as disorders. They are behaviors, which we need to research behaviors. And, these kind of behaviors are really good to research since they're so extreme. They fire things up a bit, and they can, you look at the extreme ones, and then they start narrowing in on the not so extreme ones. Like, why does Jason like driving over the bumpy thing so that there's butthole tickles?
That's not just me.
That's totally just you.
No way, it can't be.
I mean, it might. I know it seems frivolous, but brains are weird, and we don't know a lot about them. We try. I mean, we say things. I mean, psychologists try to be, well, yes, on the subconscious, blah blah. No, I want to know about how the neural pathways work and how they make these things happen. That's the fascinating thing. Or hell, the nature of consciousness itself. So yeah, study brains, figure out behaviors. People, stop pretending you're fucking autistic or whatever. And that's going to do it. I think I'm done.
That's a pretty good rant there, Daryl.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this whole episode was kind of a rant.
Pretty much. It was informative, though.
All right, cool. Anything you'd like to add or question me on?
No, I do. Well, like to say that I do agree with the autistic part as far as it was a disease or disorder, if you will, that wasn't around forever. And now it seems
was
like
around.
Well, maybe not as diagnosed as it is now, where where the spectrum goes from being this big to this big, and everybody thinks they're on it.
Yeah, it's like, oh no, one time I was in line and I heard somebody fart like 3 things up, and I was like, I can't be here, and they were like, you must be on the spectrum. Okay.
Yeah, I know the difference. My niece is autistic, and I've seen her have meltdowns before when she gets hurt. When she gets hurt, normally when a kid gets hurt, you want to console them, you want to hold them and tell them they'll make it better. You can't do that with her. You have to give her the cloth or the Kleenex, whatever, to clean herself up. You have to give her the Band-Aid. She won't let you do it. She does not want that, and that is something that's something she does.
See, that's an actual legitimate thing.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I think that we'll end it there. Join us next time when Jason, if he isn't too busy driving up and down the highway looking for those weird ridge sections to tickle his butthole.
I don't have to look. I know exactly where they are.
You got them labeled in your GPS, and you're like, okay, Google, take me to butthole 2.
Yeah, this is a 4-mile stretch that will get the job done.
You know which ones are like different speeds. It's like, this is like the steady slow bumps, and this one's really fast where it feels like somebody's going.
Yep.
Well, if Jason's done with his ass play, he'll tell us about some stuff that'll make us say, wait, what?
Maybe.
You'll be like, Daryl, I can't do it today. I can't sit down. I'm way too stimulated. You have one of those days that you fart and you go,
like, stop, I'm tired.
I can only get so hard. All right. Bye.
Later.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Waywut. This show's available on YouTube, Good Pods, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and pretty much anywhere you listen to podcasts. We love to hear from you. Please comment on what you just listened to, pass along episode ideas, or just talk to us at Waywut Podcast in our Facebook group or on TikTok, Instagram, or X. Again, we really appreciate you joining us. Come back again to hear about some stuff that will make you say, wait, what?